break into Stowe, and still Cassidy leading.
Garzo carrying so much corner speed there. Ferrari running very, very wide into Stowe corner. He lets his main championship rival Jordi Torres through on him, but it's still Cassidy then leading as we are finishing this very first lap. Garzo getting all over, swirling all over the back of Eric Granado then in second spot. So one more corner to go. We're finishing the first lap. Still yellow flags in sector one. I'm not surprised. Plenty of bikes to pick up after that first lap spill.
As I say, I was quite surprised to see Mantovani down in 10th in race one. He really wasn't a contender at any point in that affair, but he's made a great start up into 4th. Yellow flag still being shown through sector one. These guys take the requisite care, with the marshals still taking care of a couple of bikes just behind them. Mikel Pons is the latest man to fall, so this is a real race of attrition in race two.
Oh, almost another there with Spinelli going up the inside of Torres, who actually takes that as an opportunity to overtake Ferrari, but not for long. He loses both places once again on the switch back out of the loop onto the Wellington straight they go.
Absolutely, the two principal public contenders coming together there, Torres and Ferrari. Ferrari has made a really good start after qualifying back on the 3rd row, but these guys just losing touch ever so slightly with the 4 riders ahead. Those look as though Cassidy, Granado, Garzo and Mantovani just have a little bit on hand. Ferrari 6/10 back then in 5th position.
Mikel Pons obviously crashed out of sector 4 then, so we've got yellow flags in 2 sectors at the moment of this Moto E race. That's a shame for Pons, who finished 7th spot in race 1 then earlier on. He won't be experiencing any more successes from that today. But look at what this does to the title fight. Ferrari is just ahead of Jordi Torres at the moment. That would move him within 9 points striking distance of the Spaniard going into 3 rounds left. But for now, that could well be all changed. We still have, through this Maggots and Beckett's complex, Cassidy, the number 40, leads from 51, Granado, number 4, Garzo just behind them. Then we have the number 9 of Mantovani, up 6 places since the start of the race. Excellent stuff from him, and not just him, his teammate Mika Perez, up, I think that was 9 places to 8.
It was indeed, yeah, and you can see the visibility is pretty bad down on the hanger straight at the back of the circuit. Garzo loves that wide outside line into Stowe. Does he get Eric Granado around the outside on that occasion? Not quite. The Brazilian manages to hold it as they fire down towards Vale. This has been a decent map for Jordi Torres as well. He's managed to get back by Nicola Spinelli. He is there engaged in his own fire with Matteo Ferrari, but and Spinelli's got him back, in fact, coming through clutch, so that's not the best news for Jordi Torres. As they come across the line, Hector Garzo sets the fastest lap of the race, 2 minute 22.744.
4 laps to go then. Cassidy holding firm there in 1st spot with Granado just behind him. But I think this is with the drama that we experienced on lap 1, turn 1 effectively. I think they need to sort of work it out and stay a bit calmer towards the end of the race. Still 4 laps to go, 8 minutes of racing, even more so, probably more like 10 minutes I'd say with the lap times that they're running. Still plenty of life left in this yet. Spinelli moves up ahead of his fellow countryman Matteo Ferrari. He now moves into 5th.
Good stuff from Spinelli, but this little 3-way fight for 5th is costing these guys. They're not quite able to tag onto the back of Andrea Mantovani in 4th. And that in turn is letting the lead quartet get away. In fact, Cassidy and Granado are maybe just making a break here on Garzo and Mantovani through the first split of this track. Garzo is now 6/10 back of the Brazilian just ahead there. You see it on your screens. Cassidy has got the bit between his teeth after what was a pretty disappointing first race for him.
That must be a pretty awesome corner to send it through on a Moto e-bike as well. The high corner speeds we experience in this class with the added traction control as well. Woodcock corner, one of the best curves on the entire calendar. It's become a good Cox corner now, because thereafter down on the run towards Maggots and Beckett's. Torres moved over up the inside of Ferrari once again then. But these two, Eric Granado just playing it quite safe at the moment, I think. You know, judging what his competitor Cassidy doing up ahead of him, not taking any major risks right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's interesting, he said as well, didn't he, in Park Fairmay when he was leading in race 1, that he wasn't exactly sure where the limit is, and then kind of said with a smile, obviously it was further than where I was. So maybe this time he's just going to let them see it today.
Good shot, Fran. That could be a good tactic for Eric Granado. Just looking at the timing screens, it certainly does appear as though this is a 2-way fight for victory, because the gap between 2nd and 3rd has exceeded 1 second for the first time. In fact, Spinelli, Torres and Ferrari are now right on the back of Garzo and Mantovani. So we've got a 2 out of 5 for victory, and then it seems a 5 out of 5 for third.
Brilliant stuff, absolutely awesome. Motorway at its best, even in these howling, awful conditions. I mean, goodness me, they're really earning their money here today. All these riders out on track as we go complete the third lap. 3 laps to go then in this race, half race distance now.
Not sure what's happened to Kevin Manfredi. Obviously, he might have been involved in one of those incidents at the first corner. He got knocked all the way back to 10th, but he's around 3 seconds a lap slower than these lead pair here. It doesn't have anything for this lead group. So Manfredi, one of the principal challengers in race 1, not really anywhere to be seen in the lead group in race 2.
Yeah, there we go. So absolutely awesome stuff from those guys there. Eric Bernardo chasing down Casadei then. How many seconds gap between the two, between second place, third place even I should say as well. Garzo really falling back a little bit as we see Torres moves up the inside of Mantovani once again.
Barely see through the his at left field on there, but that is Jolly Torres, who's just jumped up into 5th place, and currently it's mission accomplished for the championship leader. He said he basically wanted to outscore his direct championship rivals. Well, Krummenacher isn't finishing this race, and he's 2 places ahead of Matteo Ferrari. So Jolly Torres doing another excellent job here in tricky conditions.
Yeah, fair play. That's exactly how championships are won, isn't it? That's what we talked about previously, is how he did it in the first of his titles as well. Jordi Torres, not always the rider throwing as much risk out there as others, as he's not exactly on the highest on the list of race winners, I should say, in Motor E throughout his period of time here. But he certainly knows how to get the overall job done. Much like Ferrari, though, behind him. Not exactly a bad ride in these dreadful conditions, just getting worse out there, aren't they? I would say on your television screens there, it does look a lot worse than it is, simply because we're zooming in through plenty of droplets on the camera lens. It's not actually that misty out there for these riders. It just looks much worse than it on the camera.
Yeah, but it certainly is raining quite heavily just looking out of our commentary booth. I do feel for Fran just on walking around there in pit lane as Granado keeps it nice and tight with Mattia Casadei. He hasn't shown him a wheel just yet, but as Fran was saying earlier, maybe he's just watching the Italian and what he's able to do in this encounter before trying a late move. The pace is rapid, you have to say. Granado, maybe it's the first time considers a move out front.
Casadei now, the only rider in the top 6 of the championship without a race victory this year then. He's had 4th positions. Oh, as Granado goes up the inside, but Casadei punches him straight back. Casadei, though, he's had plenty of podiums, 4th places, etc. Really, really good to see him battling. He really wants this victory here this year. He wants to put himself back into the fame of the World Championship fight. But Eric Granado, too, looking for his 3rd podium of the year, 2nd victory. And this is going to go all the way to the wire, you'd imagine, although Casadei's eked out a couple of bike length distance ahead of the Brazilian. As we see Garzo moving up to 3rd place again.
Spinelli and Torres all right there, though. It does look as though Spinelli is going to have another fight for the podium in these last 2 laps. Let's hope he can keep it rubber side down. Unlike in the first race, the pace of the league riders, man, is just on another level to the rest. They pulled up 3 seconds over this fight for third in just 2 laps. And Casadei doing a fine job, but I do feel Eric Granado is just watching brief in second. Surely a move will be incoming come the final lap.
Look at the difference in line choice there coming out of Copse Corner on the run down towards Magnus and Beckett's once again. They're going to go 3 abreast, those guys, aren't they? Spinelli, Garzo there, neck and neck into Magnus and Beckett's. Not sure what the outcome of that would have been. We're focusing on Granado and Casadei right now, though. Garzo in the head of this group then. 4 riders battling it out for that 3rd position. And plenty of them in the championship fight as well. Exciting stuff. I'm really hoping, I'll tell you what, I mean, we don't have favourites, but I would love to see Spinelli actually come through and get that podium. He so clearly deserves it with the speed that he's got, but could he be able to be picked to the line by the likes of Garzo on top?
Just wondering whether Casadei might have made a real clinical break here. Half a second he was ahead of Granado coming through the 3rd split on this penultimate lap. Let's see if he's able to hold that to the flag. They're just coming around the final club double right. And, well, maybe Casadei's just made a break at a crucial time. Comes across line, it's a fastest lap for the Italian once again. A 2:19.327. He now has 6 tenths in hand over Eric Granado.
Well, there we go. So he's made the break. He's on the run for a potential first victory of the year. Is Casadei, the Italian, on a roll here. He's playing it defensive as well, coming into the arrow and the loop here at Silverstone then. So still a long old lap to go. Plenty of work for Granado to do to catch him up. But this could be pretty historic for Casadei's first victory of the season then. It would be a big, big statement indeed, as that's not going to be the way you do it, running it wide on the curbs, over the puddles, and squirming the rear end all the way over the track down the Wellington Straight.
And Garzo has been overtaken by Spinelli through the first part of this track. Is he going to try and respond into Brooklands? Here comes Jody Torres underneath the number 4, and that's a fine move from Torres. He manages to make it stick as well, but Spinelli here is, well, just over half a lap away from a first ever podium in the Moto E class.
Plenty of overtaking spots there over though. We still have half a lap to go here at Silverstone, the final race of Moto E here this weekend.
First podium, and actually it will be his second podium, and well, it's not a given that he's going to be there, because Jody Torres looks as though he's got a good run into Stowe, and Torres now goes up into third with a beautifully executed move.
Yeah, that was textbook Copse Corner, wasn't it? Now we're on the rundown once again to Maggotts and Beckett's then. What's happening up front, I'm not quite so sure. Looks like it's still about 6 tenths for Casadei in the lead ahead of Granado, but that was Ferrari overtaking Garzo then into Maggotts and Beckett. A brilliant move there from the 11.
Yeah, and I think the fight for victory is done. Casadei's lead extends to 1 second through the third split on this final lap. Only a big mistake from the Italian can deny him. From here, I think pretty much the fight for victory is done.
There you go then, it should well be Casadei. Just a couple of corners left for him taking victory, but what about third position? This could be an absolute masterclass in risk versus reward, playing it relatively safe, but eking out an advantage from Jordi Torres, holding firm there in third place. This would be a very meaningful podium to the Spaniard, but as we turn our attention towards the front, through the final corners they come. It's going to be Casadei who takes his first win of the year in Moto E. Stand up for the Italian. He's done it ahead of Granado in second, but third, it's going to be Spinelli. He's done it. Takes it at the line. Excellent stuff from the Italian. He's on the box, ladies and gents.
You have to say, it is fairly well deserved for Nicola Spinelli. He tried so hard in race 1 to get on the box, but crash start when doing so. Managed to get the job done in race 2, much like his teammate Mattia Casadei. What an impressive ride that was for the Italian. Not even Eric Granado, who is something of a demon in these wet conditions. Not even Eric had an answer for Casadei in those final laps. But here is what happened in the battle for third.
Oh, what a